and now we're live. Hold on, I gotta pop in a little energy drink here.
Hell yeah, Josh Gill, thanks for joining early. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Josh Gill's here. That's who I was looking forward to right there.
Hell yeah.
I'm not even being sarcastic. I like it when Josh Gill shows up. So hi Patreon people. If couple things, I guess. If you're wondering why I got this really sexy low gravelly voice right now, it's because I was, after 2 years of dodging it or so, I was finally hit officially with the Rona. And we were gonna record last week. Like, yeah. Zach and I were like,
he was
we're gonna
dead
do a
for a bit,
special
I think.
episode. Yeah, we're gonna do a special episode, and we didn't, because I was like, I could power through it, no problem. Like I'll champ, but I could not champ. I couldn't even talk. Like I could barely talk. So it wasn't even like, I was like, I'm feeling sick. A case of COVID. That's really good. Yeah, it wasn't even like, I'm sick. Like I couldn't really talk. So it was like a physical thing. Anyway. So instead of doing this a week early, like we're doing it a couple days late.
Thanks, COVID.
Well, it's also, since, New York Comic-Con was this weekend, and I was sure we'd get at least one or two reveals, like something, and we got nothing.
Literally nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Literally nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Because I didn't want to do an episode and then just miss new stuff,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a risky game we play, you know, if we're going to record right before a con like that. So it's probably good. I mean, I don't got anything going on this Sunday anyways, so I kind of like doing it during the day.
Oh, it's just more work for me. Because like as soon as we're done here, then I'll have to string everything together and then put it up as soon as I can. Maybe I'll put it up tomorrow. People can have a nice work. They can have a nice like work surprise, driving to work surprise, I guess, for a new episode to listen to. Yeah,
Paragon Fuzz, A-Shan Ray, thanks for hopping in here also.
Yeah, we got some good homies in here. I actually have a surprise. I went to my PO box yesterday, and I have a box from JT Marks.
Ooh.
So I was he's a Patreon supporter, and I figure let's do an unboxing for the Patreon people, since these people can actually see things. It doesn't really make sense to do this for the podcast because like they can't see shit.
Yeah, you might as well unbox it here.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is, or you're actually gonna?
I don't know exactly what it is. What he told me was he had some extra figures that he was gonna send me.
I hope it's all TVC.
Maybe we'll find out. Yeah, he didn't tell me exactly what it was, but he was going to send it to me that I could give away on the channel. Is specifically what he said.
Oh, sick.
So I don't know if he meant like my personal, YouTube channel or Black Series Cantina, but this is how I'm choosing to do it. He sent it to me. I can do what I want. There is TVC in here. Hold on.
Awesome. That's hilarious.
Josh Gill, so far, I don't know, unless they surprise us. I did see something going on. I saw like a Shuri Marvel Legend shown off, but like I didn't see fuck all for Black Series. Anyways, so to Mike and Zach, so it is for us.
Oh, cool.
Had a blast on the 1 year anniversary episode. It was fun to chat with like-minded folks about things we enjoy or even don't enjoy. As a small token of appreciation to you guys and the community, you're helping further expand. Wanted to give a couple of extra figs I have to the Black Series Cantina cause. Feel free to use them in a giveaway on the channel. And as for the TVC, he can be cast out to the Dune Sea if you choose. I'm gonna keep that. I'm going to keep that. So these will be future giveaways for the podcast. So first we have the Flame Trooper.
Fallen Order Flame Trooper.
Fallen Order Flame Trooper. Unless you want this. I mean, I can just send this to you if you want it. I don't know.
We'll give it away. He gave it to us to give away. So.
Yeah. And then we also have a Zalbar.
Nice.
So we got a little Zalbar. We got Flame Trooper, and then as far as the TVC, it's a little crunched
A 501st?
But it's a 501st Clone Trooper. So
that's a good army builder. Somebody
that's a good
sure.
army builder for some people. So you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Heck yeah! We also have. I forgot to do it in the giveaway last time. Yeah, but we also have JD Stokes Jetta Patrol Trooper giveaway.
Oh, dude! So definitely, we're gonna do. We're going to do a Patreon giveaway for figures provided by Patreon members.
Provided by Patreon members. That's hilarious.
It'd be really funny if they won their own figures back.
Yeah. Josh Gill says, Zach, don't talk about TVC because Blue Harvest Guy's going to come and destroy me. Me and him had another really good go at it like 3 days ago, and I finally decided just to unfollow him. Just so I don't always see it on my feed. It was about he posted, what was it? It was, he posted the ARC Trooper selling out and then the exclusive Cassian Andor not selling out. And I'm like, This is not the same thing. You're not going to post, like, you can't compare an ARC Trooper exclusive, Walmart exclusive ARC Trooper where they make less of them to
for sure.
A Cassian Andor figure not selling out.
Plus, like ARC Troopers are like they're like popular. Like that's what I'm saying. That's like Hasbro printing money. Like
I said we need to compare. If you want to compare your Walmart exclusive ARC Trooper, compare it to the Walmart exclusive like 332nd Trooper,
any Black Series, any Black Series ARC
or
Trooper,
the Target exclusive Echo from the Clone Wars packaging. That thing's like $80 on eBay probably
easily. Like I regret selling you mine for a measly retail cost.
I thank you very much.
Yeah,
but like that's just even GameStop pre-orders are easy to get. Like GameStop exclusive figures are pretty easy, but the Umbra ARC Trooper is worth like 50 or 60 on eBay.
Easily,
That's a very valuable and like very sought after figure.
For sure.
Like, and it was sold out for a long time until they finally put it back up for pre-order, and like jumps in and out of pre-order. So who knows if it'll ever even like get delivered, you know? So yeah, we had another good go at it, and so that was fun. And then
it's probably good. It's good for you to unfollow him. It's better for your mental health, I would say.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. And then you had a good go at it with Darth J. Me and him go at it quite a bit too. And then you
that guy was being so ridiculous. He was so ridiculous. Like, no, you can't look at a 2-pack and assign a lower value to one and a higher value to the other figure in the 2-pack. Mm-hmm. It's a 2-pack. Both figures they should be equally valued. That's it. Like, that's the end of the story. I don't care if one is available retail and you can get it other places. It's not part of that 2-pack. Being the 2-pack makes it different.
Yeah.
Because I think what a lot of people forget is sometimes they just look at the figure, and there are people out there that collect for the packaging. Like for instance, the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary figures that we'll talk about. Mm-hmm. Like those. There are people that will buy all of those repacks because they want it on that card back, and that is who those are for. You know, instead of saying I don't like this isn't something I want, ask yourself, okay, who is this for? And don't just stop there. Actually answer the question: who's this for? Who would want this? Obviously, number one, people who miss the figures the first go around, and that's great for them. Number two, people who do collect in box and they do want that.
The cards are pretty. I'll keep a Boba Fett on card, you know.
Exactly. And this is great for them. It might not be something you want. And you know what? Here's the thing. Not everything is about you. Not everything is for you. And that's okay.
They'll get hurt. Don't talk like that, Mike. They'll get hurt.
Anyway.
This is like for Patreon members, of course, you know.
No, our Patreon members are strong. They're not going to get hurt.
Yeah, for the most part, agree with this, I think.
Well, even if they don't, you know what? Thanks for supporting us anyway.
That's true.
Thanks for supporting us anyway. You guys are the best. No, literally, you guys are the best. That took a lot less time than I thought, opening that box up. So that's all I had.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. All right, I'm ready for the main
the main event. We're gonna have a nice short 10-minute little Patreon time, and then we'll. Mama said knock you out.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Man, we have a big episode today to start on. Like
huge
episode. And that's what happens when a lot happens and we don't record for like a week and a half.
Thanks,
2 weeks. Yeah, thanks COVID. But it did leave me with this really cool voice though.
Very sensual.
Hi, and welcome to Black Series Cantina.
After hours.
After hours. Yeah.
You're gonna
anyway,
put our audience to sleep driving to work.
I know, right? They're gonna get into car accidents driving to work in the morning. Their boss is gonna come by at their desk, like, Johnson, did you get that? Why are you asleep? Johnson, why are you asleep? You're listening to a Black Series Cantina podcast. You shouldn't be asleep. And then, then they get fired, and then their wives leave them or their husbands leave them, and they're on the streets, turning out tricks for Black Series figures. It's all my fault.
We'll just throw in a legal disclaimer saying we're not responsible for any if you fall asleep because of Mike's low recovering sensual voice right now. That's right.
Well, anyway, so hi there. Welcome to Black Series Cantina, episode 30.
30.
30. This is the Dirty 30. Dirty 30 right here. I couldn't really think of a good thing to call this, so I think I went Pulse Pipeline Pipedreams, but I also was thinking Pulsecon Blues.
Yeah,
but I want to be more positive because like
Black Series Pulse.
I feel like we've already done.
Has a pulse. I have no idea.
It's not dead. It's not dead. It's got a Pulsecon.
We'll figure that out later. That's your job. Well, you're the titles guy.
Yeah. Well, I think I already told Sean the pipe dream one. We'll go with it. If he makes one, we'll go with it. I don't even care.
Yeah. Huge episode today. Everything from Pulsecon, and then even like I guess we'll talk about Indiana Jones figures a little bit.
Why not? It's Black Series adjacent in the sense that it's being done by the Black Series team.
Yeah, it literally is. That was actually hilarious. They just like popped in the next stream.
Yeah, they quickly changing out their shirts and stuff. Yeah.
They should have just like took their Indiana Jones shirts off on stream and then just started the Star Wars one.
Yeah, shirtless.
Like
come on, Patrick.
Well, they have if they had like the black.
No. I want Patrick shirtless. Telling us about Patrick. Black Series. That's right.
Yikes! I don't even want Patrick out there. I think the general consensus was from at least like people I saw talking about it that the team is better on camera when Patrick isn't doing the talking.
I agree.
But I actually did enjoy how they were running so behind that they just had to reveal figures like
they were just shotgunning them. Yeah,
because it was like 450, and you could tell they had like 11 more to get through, and then they were like, all right, go.
We just gotta get these out.
Yeah, they stopped like right at 5, so pre-orders or whatever, and they didn't have time to talk about any of the figures. They were just like, all right, here's next. Here's like Luke, Vader, blah blah blah. It was really cool. I liked the fast pace. Just get it over with, announce them, get it over with, and let's go.
Honestly, that's all it needs to do. Like, here are the new reveals. They'll speak for themselves. Real. Yeah, you're either gonna hype over them or you're not. Obviously, I like getting some of the information. Like when Eric and people like talk about the why they chose that or the design behind it. Like I like hearing that stuff, but also I just want you to just shotgun. I just want you guys to basically Black Series Bukkake me.
Oh my gosh. End the podcast right now. End of the podcast. No.
I just want to sit there on my knees and have you guys just shower me with Black Series news.
Oh my gosh. So I have a question. Did you watch, I guess they ended it. Did they have like a weird freestyle thing after the Star Wars panel, or was that only for day one? Because I think
that was only for day one. That was only for day one. I did not. Honestly, I don't know, because as soon as 5 o'clock hit, I was like, screw this noise, and I went over to the store and started pre-ordering things.
Because on day one, I stopped watching, and then I saw a tweet, and because it was after it was like scheduled to end or whatever, the stream, the Hasbro stream, and I saw a tweet from somebody, I forget who it was, but they were like, "What is going on the Hasbro stream right now?" So I turned it on, and there's this guy the guy freestyling, and then the two guys hyping him up. It was hilarious.
So that guy has like the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest like rap free flow. Like it was like something like 24 hours of just straight rapping, I guess, which is a lot, but
that's insane.
It is insane. You know what? But it is weird. But it is weird out of context, just like what's happening.
Yeah, it was a weird like choice to have them just like, all right, let's just do a freestyle to close this.
And then I didn't know who either of those people were, so I looked it up. And one of them was Zero and Holes. I'm like, I love Holes.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. I still don't know who DJ Amin is, but it's fine.
Speaking of Holes, I went to a Halloween party last night dressed as a guy from Holes.
Oh, did you? Which one?
We won best costume also. I had like a big orange jumpsuit, basically caveman, because I had a red hat with like a white towel underneath. I took a shovel and I had like a milk jug, you know, like, and then I'd used a shoestring to tie it around me.
Nice.
Maybe I'll post a picture in the Patreon or something.
That's a good. You know what? Holes is like one of those things. Like, it's so long ago. The people that get it will like just jive on it. They're like, oh my God, Holes. Yeah. Like it's not contemporary by any means, which I appreciate. People do Halloween costumes that aren't whatever's popular right now. You know, it's like, okay, everyone's going to be Harley Quinn, whatever's popular.
Eddie from
exactly.
Stranger Things.
But you go way back in the day, you're like, you know what? Respect.
Yeah. Go to a classic.
That. Yeah. Josh Gill says he wants to see Patrick's six-pack trick.
Jesus Christ.
And we are, just to people listening, we are being joined live by Patreon members. So if you ever want to join us for one of these episodes live, you can head over our Patreon, where you can actually watch the videos after they're recorded, or join a tier where you can actually be part of the episode as it's being recorded, and we will talk about you on the podcast as you chat.
Yep, for sure. And before we get into fine editions, I kind of want to talk about the Q&As they did.
Sure.
Because I didn't watch any of the Q&As other than like 6 minutes of maybe the one that From Forlam to Zuckus posted. I watched like 5 or 6 minutes and was like, I cannot do this anymore. I'm so tired of people asking questions. Good questions. I mean, they're not bad questions. And then Hasbro, like the people, they just can't talk about absolutely anything. And it's just annoying to even have these. If they're like, I commented on somebody's post because they said, hey, we're going live, like send us questions for, you know, our Q&A. And I said, hey, well, here's the answer they're going to give you. They're going to say, well, they appreciate the question.
We can't discuss,
we can't talk about anything that hasn't been announced yet. But just stay tuned. Like, that's all they say, and it's just frustrating, you know. And like every now and then they'll be like, oh, we actually have an announcement. Thanks for that question that you conveniently asked and we didn't tell you to ask. We're actually going to announce we're going to a thicker card back. Like, they just can't talk about anything, you know. And I'm done wasting my time watching those. So I'm just not going to watch those anymore. I'm going to leave it to other people. And if there's like an important thing, and they're all like 20 something plus minutes, I'm done with them personally.
Are you going to watch the one with Luke Monster and Eric coming up?
Yes. I actually promoted that on my Instagram story. Yeah. So I'll tune into that one. You know, if I'm not able to make it live, I'll check it out. But that one's more of a one-on-one, and it'll probably be more of a conversation about, like, you know, what his role is and like some figures or whatever, maybe a couple questions thrown in. But these like organized, oh, you get a question, and like 10 questions in, they haven't said anything of interest.
And it's always like the first because it's always like popular people, right? Like bigger people, and the first 5 minutes of their question is just them just being like, oh man, congrats on all your success, Hasbro. We love the line. You know, you're like, okay, I get that you want to brown nose a little bit. Like, I get it. I get it. But like, come on. Yeah. You're there. They've heard it. Just ask your question.
You know what one of their questions should have been? They should have said, are you relieved that you're not one of the people that got laid off?
Oh, right.
Hasbro's laying a ton of people off right now.
I knew they wouldn't do anything public facing for like Marvel Legends team, Black Series team. Like I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't a Ghostbusters team anymore. Like that wouldn't surprise me to learn that at all. But like the big people like Ryan and Dwight and guys from Marvel Legends, or like Jing and Emily and Patrick, like they're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
and not anytime soon. Not the public faces anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, there definitely was some layoffs at Hasbro we hear, but we haven't heard anything specific. That was like was it the AIC podcast or Full Force podcast? One of those guys.
Somebody reported it, and then but I haven't. There's been nothing else. I don't think I haven't read anything. So I'm sure Hasbro didn't want that information out there right after like, because it was like 2 days after they reported. They're like, hey, we want to grow profits by like 50%. So we're just gonna fire all these people.
Weird.
It was really
that was
odd,
such a weird announcement. Like, why? Of course, number one, Hasbro, as a company, of course you want to grow profits. Like, of course you do. Yeah. Why would you ever say to actually next year we want to shrink? We want to shrink profits by like 20%. Like I feel like we made too much money last year, so this year we want to make less money, and we're passing the savings on to you. Like that's just never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. Yeah. So it's weird to just say the quiet part out loud. Like hey, in the next year we want to make more money off you guys. Yeah. Which I get. You know, you're giving us goods in exchange for our money. Like, here's money, you give us something that I want, you know, like that's just how capitalism works. I'm okay with that, but like it did feel like it was just kind of rubbing in our faces. Like we're gonna make so much money off you guys next year, right? You don't even know. Hopefully
they just release more figures.
You know what, if that's the case, I'm down, and you know, it's fine, let's do it. But it was a weird. It's like that was an internal memo that someone was like, yeah, let's put this on the official Hasbro Pulse social media account. You know, it was a weird thing to promote.
And from a business standpoint, like, why would you announce that you want to increase it by 50? So that way, if you only increase them by 33, it looks like you failed. You know?
Yeah.
They should say, like, they put a number on it, which is like strange, but maybe it's for like they're doing it to hype up the stock or whatever.
Well, I know this because I used to work for Apple, and this happened all the time. We'd see this where like Apple would post, you know, like $36 billion profit, but the Apple stock would go down because it wasn't quite as high as people were projecting the Apple would make. Like they still made, you know, more money than anyone could ever spend in a lifetime. They still are a $2 trillion company or whatever, but because it wasn't quite where people wanted it to be, the stock tanked. That's one of the reasons why I just really hate the stock market and all that stuff, because it's just arbitrary. It's like people are just saying, hey, I think you should make this. Oh, you didn't? Well, now for no reason your company's valued less, even though you made a ton of money. Like that's just not that's not how anything should work ever. Like that's not capitalism. That's just it's basically borderline like witchcraft and voodoo. Like it's just, you know, it doesn't make sense. Like none of this is based on anything, you know. It's so weird. Anyways, should we talk about Black Series?
Yes, we should. Let's bring it back for
let's bring it back.
Editions. Mike, you got any good fine editions for this episode?
I have so many fine editions. I think we had one of the finest editions in a while.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start with non Black Series just to get it over with. I don't collect Marvel Legends that often, but every once in a while there's one that comes across where I'm like, okay, I need this. And this one was Spider-Man, or Japanese Spider-Man. I'm pretty big into Sentai, not Power Rangers, but Sentai. And Japanese Spider-Man here was actually one of the big things that kind of led to where Sentai went with like big, you know, robots that transform and things like that. So I had to get one, and I have him in here. I wish his body was a little better. Like he really does need butterfly joints and
that
stuff.
one doesn't have butterfly. I feel like a lot of the ones they've been coming out with lately do.
It does not. It's an all pinless body, but no butterfly joints. And I think I don't know. Yeah, well, I think it's just because it does match kind of what we saw on screen with Japanese Spider-Man. But I don't really care. I love him. He looks great. And he's not gonna go with my other Marvel Legends. He's gonna go on actually my Sentai Power Rangers shelf.
Cool.
Yeah, because like that's just how it is. I'm gonna go back and kind of catch up with you.
Okay.
I got two Dark Troopers. I opened one because I got one from Target because it was on sale. I got it for like 20, 22, 24 bucks, whatever it was on sale for. So I snagged that. And then this one actually came in from Big Bad Toy Store. And I absolutely love this figure. It's a great figure. The posability on it is nuts.
The smoothness of all the joints and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Is amazing.
He's Dark Trooper. If you don't have one, you need it. You need one. You need at least one Dark Trooper in your life. The only thing that he really should have come with is a flight stand.
Yeah.
If they had put a flight stand in there, it would have been a no-brainer, and especially worth the price.
I wonder if they don't give Black Series figures those just so you buy the Hasbro Pulse ones.
So I have a bunch of those, and like it's $15 for a 3-pack, which means that the retail price for one of those is $5. You know, like I would gladly pay an extra $5 for this figure. It was like 31, charge me 36. You know, slap one of those in there. You know, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like I would 100%. I'd love that. I'm assuming my next two are ones that you probably also have, so feel free to jump in.
Okay. Yep, for sure.
First one, just because it was closer, I got the droids Boba Fett. I actually got two of them. Yeah, I got two of them. I think I bought one for somebody, and then I think it was Papa Gore, but then they didn't need it because it's been so long. Like this has been a year since the pre-orders for these went up. So they didn't need it anymore. So I'm just gonna return my extra one back to Target. But I do love it. My only critique is it really does need that that Mandalorian blaster, the little the phase rifle or whatever.
Is it phase rifle, pulse rifle, something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, because he had that in. Well, he had it in the holiday special, but I feel like that kind of matches this droid's look.
Yeah.
So I think I got a couple extras from all the different Mandos I've got. So I think I'm gonna give this guy one of those.
Oh yeah, you definitely should.
So
yeah, I love I got this one too, and I love the just the box art on it, the blue and the yellow.
Yeah,
like
the
really
box
pops.
art's great. Yeah,
and then the black on the side, it's so good. Like they did a really, really good job with this.
Yeah. So and this is gonna look good on my shelf. I've got I put the other boxes on my shelf. You can't really see them back there, but they look good, and this is gonna look good on there as well with them. Let's see. I got the Mandalorian Grogu from Maldo Kreese.
Yep, got that one also.
So finally, and I'm gonna pop this one open today or tomorrow, and do a quick little review. Like I've already done a Mando review. I don't need to do a full review on it, but I want to pop it in and then open up that vintage collection set that I have to add the little spiders to it. So I got that. And then my second to last thing, we got the Andor 2-pack. There we go. This is a Pulsecon exclusive. This was the only Pulsecon exclusive that was in stock. The other ones were all pre-orders, but this one was in stock, ready to ship out. So we already have the B2 Emo and Andor 2-pack. And you know what? He looks great. I haven't opened mine yet. I know
you haven't opened it yet?
You have. I know you have.
Yep. It is amazing. It's really good. The way it I'm addicted to this. It's almost like a fidget toy. How you can pull
Yeah, a
them
little
out,
B2, yeah.
and then you can just squeeze them closed, like just over and over, and pull them up, and then just squeeze them. It's like a little fidget toy when you're just sitting here, and you can like twirl him a little bit, or like not twirl him, but like make him go side to side a little.
He has a lot
forward.
of articulation for such a little guy, and it was one of those things. When they announced it, I didn't really see that it was.
I didn't see the value in the price.
Yeah, exactly.
When they made the announcement, I was like, that thing is kind of tiny. Maybe it looks a little smaller than it should be, but I think he did.
Well,
they did
there are
really
a lot of
good
people
job.
comparing the set to Ray and BB-8.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. Mm-hmm.
But it's not a fair comparison because BB-8, while BB-8 had a decent amount of paint apps on him, he was a very simplistic toy. It was basically a counterweight inside a ball. Mm-hmm. Whereas this has a lot of parts. There's a lot of articulation. There's a lot of movement. And it is closer to like a standalone Astromech release, like, R2-D2 or R5-D4 with the GameStop. Like those got full priced retail releases.
Yeah.
And I do believe B2 Emo is just as good as any of those releases. Apparently his feet pull out too. Pizza the Hut 24 says that.
Yeah, they do. By the way, slide. They can slide like this.
Yeah. A little welcome the Gamer Zone 24 and Pizza the Hut 24. Both 24s. That's neat. Anyways, okay. And then I got one last thing, and this is where I'm gonna lose you.
Oh Lord!
Before I got COVID,
see it.
I know you do, but I gotta set this up. Before I got COVID, my wife she tested positive. And I'm like, okay, I'm testing negative, so I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna stock up. So I went to Target. I put a mask on. I went to Target, and I'm like, okay, what are we gonna need while we're sick? So I got extra medicine. I got soups and all that stuff to like kind of get us through the next week or so. Yeah, exactly. And on the shelf they had the Dark Times Obi-Wan Kenobi Vintage Collection Darth Vader, and everyone won't shut up about how good this figure is, and it looks good, but it's one of those things that, like, how can it really be that good? So I'm actually on camera. I just ripped the back off. I ripped the back off right now, everyone.
I've seen it in person a few times, and I think I sent a couple of TVC figures to Nate. From the Kenobi show. I think that might have been one of them. I can't remember exactly, but I've seen that figure in person a few times, and it looks absolutely fabulous. And the extra hands.
So you're so listening to it live. You're watching it if you are a Patreon member. Mike Case has a vintage collection figure in his hand.
Yeah, I'm officially taking applications for a new co-host. If anybody is interested.
This thing feels so small. Like I feel like I feel like I could just crush it in my hand. Just absolutely destroy it.
Do you feel like you accidentally shrunk the 6-inch Vader?
Kind of. Shrunk the Vader. Kind of. I will say though, like the cape feels a lot thicker, or maybe it's just a smaller,
like a more quality material.
More. I don't know if it's more quality, but it doesn't. It feels pretty good in hand.
So my question is, what are you gonna do with this figure when you're done seeing how good of a figure it is?
Oh, I'm gonna display it. I got a little Vader collection over here. You can't really see it because it's kind of far away, but I have my hyper real Vader. I've got a regular Vader next to him. So I'm gonna put this with it. So I'm gonna, because Vader's one of my favorite characters.
He's my favorite. He's my absolute favorite.
So it's one of those things, like, I don't mind having extra versions of this character, because like it's like a little Vader collection. So like I've got a Hot Toys Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader coming. I'll have this one with it. I'll have my like hyper real Vader with it, so I have a vintage collection Darth Vader right now. He's good. He's good. It's just so weird. Like the vintage collection does nothing for me. Like I'm holding this in my hand and I'm just like how do you? I'm just afraid I'm gonna break it with like my big gorilla fingers. Like I don't know. Like it's so small, how do people put up with this? How do people? I mean, I don't want to be a size queen about my toys, but like, it's so small.
Anything smaller than 6 inches feels small, you know.
I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna play with it after the show.
Yeah, fiddle around with it.
I'll fiddle around. I'll post some pictures or whatever. He's got a couple different hands I'll play around with. You know, he's got his lightsaber, and he has an unignited lightsaber and a regular lightsaber, all of which things that I genuinely think the Black Series should come with as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when a lightsaber is all one piece, you don't have to worry about it snapping if it falls because it doesn't have that weak connector point to bend.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have two different hilts, an unignited hilt and an ignited hilt.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
Yep. I agree.
Josh Gill, we are talking about the toy always, but everything I say at all times can always be a double entendre.
Very
without
true.
fail. Yeah.
Very true.
And anyways, that's what I've got for my fine editions.
Right. I'll start real quick with stuff that you kind of already mentioned. I also got Maldo Kreese, Mandalorian. Very cool. I can't wait to get the spider out. So that really looking forward to that.
I love that when Black Series does animals, like creatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely looking forward to that.
He does. I haven't compared him like next to the other Mandalorian. I have the older one, but he does look a little shinier. So
Yep.
I'm hoping that's the case when I compare him. The paint does look a little better. I also got, we mentioned earlier already, the Droids Boba Fett. Love it. That one's staying in the packaging for me. And then my last, and I also of course got the Andor Pulsecon 2-pack. I like it a lot better than I thought I did.
Me too. Yeah.
I love the droid. The figure is cool. He's very smooth. He's obviously very shiny, so I'm gonna have to hit like his whole body with the matte spray. But the droid, one more thing I want to say about B2. They did, for Black Series these days, doesn't really get a lot of weathering on things, but they did a really good job. And especially, I think it's worth the price because for Black Series, they did a pretty good job with the weathering all around the figure. Like even back here on the back of it has weathering. On the yellow foot on his back right side, it's got some dirty spots, and he looks all grimy and used. Looks really old. So yeah, I absolutely love this. All the details on his little eye, his little red circles, and so yeah, I'm in love with this set. I'm really glad. I originally wasn't going to get it. Watched the show, fell in love with the droid, even though I wish he were in it a little more. And then I had to get it, and I'm not mad about it. And then I got some cool pickups from my local comic shop. I had $25 off.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
When did you put a foosball in your room? A foosball table?
Oh, yeah. Let me talk about that. I wasn't going to, but now that you brought it. So this is always...
I just noticed that there behind you is a giant foosball table.
Okay, so this is actually... It's normally in my basement, like, common area. So when friends come over, like, we're having a couple of drinks or whatever, we'll throw a party, like, some guy will play it. Me and my wife play it every now and then. But my wife threw a bridal shower in, like, our basement last weekend. So we had to put it in here just to create more room in there. And it's actually a Star Wars... it's a Revenge of the Sith.
It's a Star Wars foosball table.
Yeah, it's a Revenge of the Sith.
Are the soccer players
table.
like clones or what?
The soccer players are super battle droids and clones.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's original from 2005, and then it was I bought it for $25, like a year ago or so, a little before we started the podcast actually, and then
that's awesome.
It was really wobbly, so me and my dad put these extra wood pieces on the bottom to like really sturdy it up. So yeah, you can play it, and I wish I could get a little closer, but yeah, that's like you might be able to see the blue super battle droid right here. Yeah. And then the white clones. And on this side, it has Yoda. And then on the other side, it has Darth Vader.
That's cool. That's rad. That's pretty cool.
And then you see like the Anakin and Obi-Wan's fighter jets right there.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that sick?
That's a fun display piece for sure.
Yeah, so that's fun to mess around with, and it's fun just to play foosball too. And
Yeah,
it's like from 2005, and I saw it on Facebook Market like a year and a half ago or something. And the guy wanted $20 or $25 for it, and my dad has a truck, so I was like, I need this for that cheap. I need this in my basement, you know.
Absolutely.
So then,
sorry to interrupt. Thank you for.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
I've been kind of wanting to talk about it for like actually the longest time, but it's just never.
There was no good way
up.
to work it in the conversation.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Until you just did. But so anyways,
you're welcome.
I had $25 off my local comic shop, so I decided to pop in. And I've been eyeing this. I knew they would lower it eventually. I think they usually had it for like 15 or 20. But they finally put the Death Squad Commander on the New Hope card down to $10. So I was like, that's a pickup for sure. So I'm finally glad to add. I never had this one, so I'm finally glad to add it. And for $10, can't beat it. Gonna open that one up.
You don't have that figure at all?
No, I've never had this one. I've never had it.
Okay, so that one doesn't have the face printing, but the one in the red box does.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Why did I get this one then?
I don't know.
Well, they don't. I mean, he still looks pretty solid.
He looks fine.
It's really not bad.
Yeah.
With the helmet on, it's not bad.
No, it's not bad. I'm just stating a fact. The one in the red box that came out with the Solo Wave does have face printing.
And then I finally, this is a Marvel Legends pickup. I finally got Obadiah Stane and
Nice.
Ironmonger. They had it for $60, I think, but I had $25 off, and I wanted to use it, so got
Not
this
bad.
this was $35 after my coupon, and then that was $10, so $45 between the two, the Death Squad Commander and Obadiah Stane and Ironmonger, still sealed. So for $45, that's pretty good. Pretty good days. Yeah, that's my fine additions for this week.
Nice. We had some fine additions. Some
very fine additions.
Very fine additions.
Very,
all right.
very fine additions.
Yeah.
Now we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, we have so much to talk about. I know we can, there we go. Okay.
You're right.
I just added a little bit, and so I remember to talk about it, and I'm just going to talk about it right now. So I don't even know why I bothered typing it in, because I'm literally just going to go straight into it. So
it gives me a head start on knowing what you're going to say.
There you go. That's right. We're working on the news. We got some news, and we have tons of reveals because of Pulsecon and just everything else. So first, what we're going to talk about is the archive wave. The next archive wave is hitting retails in stores. So if you've got any on pre-order, you've probably already gotten notices that they're shipping or will be shipping soon. I know I have Han and Chewie on pre-order from Target because they were on sale.
They did the super sale
a couple months ago.
thing,
Yeah.
Like $17.
And I have Leia on order from Hasbro Pulse. So all of those are like, hey, things are shipping soon. So hopefully getting those. Are you getting any of them?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting the Han, and then I'm definitely going to get the Bouche Leia.
Yeah.
The other two, is it Tarkin and Chewie, right?
Yeah.
Definitely no to Tarkin, and then Chewbacca, I'm going to wait to see in hand if it's any better than the current one.
Sure.
Like the paint, because I feel like some of the promo shots, it might look a little shiny, and it's like I don't need a shiny Chewbacca, you know.
Sure.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But definitely the updated Han, well, the maybe up. We'll talk about that in a second. But and then the Bouche Leia 100% can't pass that one up.
Also hitting Walmart's, because Pizza the Hut just said that they found the Holiday Mandalorian and the Imperial Officer at Toys R Us in Canada. And I know a good friend of the show, Papa Gord, has also found all of those, as well as the C-3PO, the Protocol Droid. And these are figures that they've been announced. We'll talk about them later, but they're hitting Canada right now. So that's also kind of nice. But one of the things I wanted to talk about that archive wave, Nate from Out of the Basement brought this up, and I just kind of took it at face value when it was announced that Han Solo had a new head. But after kind of looking at pictures and the old archive Han in my hand, Nate brought into question, is it really a new head? And I'm not so sure anymore, even though at Star Wars Celebration, Eric looked me dead in the eyes and told me it was a brand new head. But after looking at it, I'm just not so sure. Like, it definitely has a painted upgrade. Like, that's for sure. But it doesn't look like a new sculpt to me. And that's all I have to say. I can't really say definitively until I get it in hand. But I'm like, would Eric lie to me? Would Eric lie to me, to my face?
Would Eric lie? Yeah, I'm looking at pictures right now, and to me, it looks the same.
It looks the same. The expression is more pronounced with the new painting, but that's just the paint. That's not, because the sculpt is still there. He still has that
sculpt
smirk.
has usually always been there for Black Series. It's just
Yeah.
painting on the mass-produced.
And one of the things that
figure.
kind of stands out to me is on newer heads. Like, for instance, when they redid the Bespin Luke head, the new Bespin Luke head has two pieces. You have the head piece and the hair piece
And the
glued
hair.
on, because it's always head and hair as two separate pieces. But on this Han, it's just one sculpted piece. So it's interesting. I don't know if maybe they did do a new sculpt, but they gave it the exact same sculpt. They're just like, let's give it another go, but make everything
Yeah,
the
maybe
same,
like
you know?
super close, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
But if they're doing a new sculpt, why would they do the old style of making the hair and the head and the face like a one sculpt?
I'll have Lukeness ask Eric. That's
yeah,
what I'll
Luke
do.
just come through. Yeah, and it's weird. 'cause
Lukeness, if you're listening to this, buddy.
I feel like when they revealed that, they explicitly, like, I feel like I remember Patrick saying, or somebody saying, like, that's a newly tooled head on in archive body.
They 100%
on
said
the,
it.
the old body.
Yeah, no, they 100% said that. Like, it's the same thing, you know, with the Grogu alternate head. We're like, oh, Grogu's got an alternate head in the box, and he doesn't. You know,
Yeah.
like they say it. It's not like a Mandela effect thing where we just thought we heard that.
Yeah,
but
I
we're
went back and
misremembering
checked on that
things.
one.
Yeah,
And they 100% they said that.
Yeah. So very weird. Very weird. And then also, speaking of things coming in, I got my email saying that the Pulsecon Boba Fett, the all black Boba Fett is coming.
Yep, got mine.
It's shipping
on the way.
So, but the John Favreau
Pushed
Paz
back.
Vizsla got pushed back, which is weird because we pre-ordered that way earlier than Boba.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird, but you know,
And
whatever.
that's
It
pushed
is
back
what
to
it is.
November 1st, I think, is what
Yeah.
the email said.
Yeah.
November 1st.
Yeah. And then another thing, lots of pre-orders went up, but the holiday figures finally went up for pre-order.
Yep.
And it looks like we might not get them until November 1st either, which is just really weird
Yeah.
to get a holiday figure after the holiday. Like, I'm all for goofy holiday figures. I love it. Like, I legitimately...
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool.
I love the creativity. I love how goofy they are. I understand and I recognize they're not for everybody. And there are people that they do not care about
They
these at
bash
all.
them. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You know what? You can not care for it and not bash it. You can just not like it. You don't have to take it the step further and bash it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But even if you are bashing it, like, I love it. But I love it when they come out for the holiday they're for. Getting Halloween figures after Halloween, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? You know?
Yeah, they're capitalizing on you ordering it when you're in the Halloween spirit. You know, I'm in
Exactly.
the Halloween spirit, and then I'm gonna order this. I'm gonna pre-order it, and then you get
Yeah.
it in like at Thanksgiving. You're like, well,
So
damn.
for instance, Mythic Legion's Four Horsemen, they just released a surprise Headless Horseman figure where they were in
that
stock,
thing looks
ready to go.
sick.
Man, I was in the midst of COVID, and I set my alarm for 6 a.m. because that's when they went live, my time. I'm like, I'm not missing this figure because I didn't know what it was. They don't say what it. They just like, they're very mysterious about it. Like, ooh, something's dropping tomorrow morning. You know, be ready. And last year it was a Krampus figure, and that was cool. I love it. I've got it on my shelf behind me. But the Headless Horseman figure is gorgeous. I definitely snagged that one up, but I'm going to get it in time for Halloween, with plenty of time. So it's just, I'm going to get mine on Wednesday or Tuesday. There are people that already have theirs. There are people that got theirs like a day or two after, so it's just so weird that this smaller company can get more expensive figures out.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just got a little griping a little bit. It's a little complaining. Like, Hasbro, I'm here for you. I want to support you. Obviously, like, I know you love me specifically personally as a big soulless corporation.
Yep.
It's like
they love you.
It's like going to Hooters and like saying like, oh no, she loves me.
Yeah.
She likes me. No, she's just flirting with you because that's just what they get paid to do. Although I shouldn't really make that comparison because I did get a Hooters girl phone number when I lived in Austin, Texas.
Jeez.
Like, so that's a different story for a different day.
I think she just wanted a bigger tip. She wanted, 30% instead of 18.
Maybe, but she didn't have to give me a phone number.
Okay. Did she reply to your call/text?
Well, so I guess I'll tell the story here. It wasn't even really at a Hooters. I did meet her at the Hooters because I worked at GameStop at the time, and my boss and I went to Hooters to talk to the manager about catering the Halo 3 launch night event at our store. Mm-hmm. And we had dinner there, and we're talking to the girls, we're flirting, but the whole time I'm in my head, I'm like, flirt, whatever, but like, they're Hooters girls. Like, I'm not going to fall in love or anything. But then the one I was flirting with came to the store that night because they had a couple of Hooters girls there for like, the catering event. And it was there that she gave me her phone number. The problem was, like, I texted her, I called her a couple times, but like I was already in the process of moving away from Texas. So like nothing was ever going to happen.
Yeah.
For it. I think I'm still friends with her on Facebook. We made out one time. I don't want to get, but she was fine. She was a really cool person. Her name's Whitney. She's fine. Anyways, yeah.
Anyways,
what are we talking about?
We got the Christmas figures were finally officially revealed after being leaked quite a while ago. But they did have a surprise one because this one, I don't believe it leaked before at all. I feel like the first time I saw it anyways was whenever they officially revealed it, and it's the Phase 2 Clone Trooper, the brown one. How do you feel about that one?
I like it. I like them all. I'm here for all of them. I'm down for all of them. I want them to go up for pre-order already. Like, I want to get all of these.
Yeah, the Clone Trooper is a Pulse exclusive, goes up November 1st.
Yep.
I can't decide on that one. I think the for sure ones I'm definitely getting the Wookiee, the white Wookiee. That's GameStop, November 1st. Yeah. And then I might do the Clone Trooper, but I can't decide on the other ones. I kind of want the Mandalorian Warrior.
That's a Target exclusive. He looks fine. I don't like that he is based on the Jango Fett body.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if is the Phase 2 Clone Trooper the new body or the old body?
I think it's new.
Okay.
I think it's the new one.
Okay.
It looked like the new one to me when I looked at it. But.
I'd have to look at that again. The Scout Trooper is a Walmart exclusive. This one I think is my favorite. It comes with a little Grogu thing. Yeah. I like him a lot. And then we're also getting a protocol droid, and that's fan channel. And then we have a First Order Stormtrooper, and that one is Amazon exclusive.
And that's the one that's oddly the only pre-order you can get in October, and that'll be
true
on October.
Of course, these are holidays. As long as they come out before Christmas, I'm fine. We're pre-order them in November. We got a whole month or so, month and a half, for them to come out and still be relevant.
Hopefully, anyways. I guess we'll see.
Well, I know they're already out in like Canada and places. In fact, I have a Mandalorian Warrior on its way to me via Papa Gord. So
heck yeah.
Yeah, so that the protocol droid, I'm like I said, I'm in on all of them. I love these stupid figures. I love the original ones. These will look great beside the originals for sure.
And as much as people bash these little like gimmicky holiday figures, the Christmas ones from last year weren't easy to find.
No,
and
they
some
weren't.
of them are going for good prices on secondary markets. So they're gonna keep doing them, and I like them. I love I like the Halloween ones more. I prefer.
Me
it's just
too.
Like, I think the style of them and look of them. But what's like your top 2 or 3, or your favorite one from these 6 Christmas ones?
From the new ones? The Wookiee, because it's like the Abominable Snowman.
Yep, that's the same. That's the one I absolutely love.
Yeah. A Clone Trooper, just because he's a Clone Trooper, and then the Scout Trooper, I think, are my my top 3.
Yeah, I definitely got to go with the Wookiee as my favorite for sure.
Yeah.
That's that one, and then probably the one I like best second, probably the Scout, honestly. I'm not sure if I'll get any other than the Wookiee, but I probably like the Scout because he has a little satchel with Baby Yoda in it.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You say that now, and then
I know, and then I'll see him on the peg, and then I'm like, it's Christmas season. I'm in the spirit.
Remember when they announced the Andor B2 Emo 2-pack, and we're all like, oh no, I'm not gonna pre-order that. It's $60 or whatever.
Yeah.
And now we both have one, so we'll see.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. But let's jump into some Star Wars news, leading off with Pulsecon. We had a lot of Pulsecon reveals. It was much anticipated.
Yep.
And so we're going to start with Indiana Jones. Are you in on any of the Indiana Jones figures?
I am pre-ordering Indiana Jones himself, and I think that's it. As much as I would love a Build-A-Figure Ark of the Covenant, I like the Indiana Jones movies, but I don't like them enough to have all the characters from them, you know?
Yeah.
Like Indiana Jones he's iconic, and he looks fantastic. But and as much as I love John Rhys Davies, I don't think the Solo looks super like John Rhys Davies. I do like I can't remember any of the bad guys. The guy with the hat, with his face melting.
The
melty face is fantastic. I wish he came with a little clothes hanger to hang his cloak up on, like, because that was a big thing in the movie where he takes out the stick and you think he's gonna like torture him, and he just kind of folds it into a hanger and puts his jacket on it. Like, it would have been cool if he came with that, but if it was that or the melty face, we'll go melty face. The Marion looks fine. I just don't love the movie enough to want all the figures from it. Plus, I'm not a big fan of how the legs look. If that
really,
like
I haven't noticed
the thigh
anything.
swivels on all of them, even to an extent in Indiana Jones. I don't love, like, there's a noticeable gap or something in there.
Okay, I see what you mean.
You see what I mean? Yeah. Yep. And it's not the reason I'm not getting them, but it's like another reason for me not to get it. But on the fact that it's just it's fine. It's fine.
I see what you mean. I see the gap in there.
Yeah. But Indiana Jones looks great. The likeness to Harrison Ford looks fantastic.
Fabulous.
Definitely need an Indiana Jones on my shelf. So 100% snagging one. If they come out with, maybe some characters, like I might get a short round. I don't know. Whenever they get around to other characters, I might get a Sean Connery figure. And whenever they get to these, it's one of those things that I might pick up on a case-by-case basis, depending on how I feel about the figure. But from what they've shown us so far, I think it's a good attempt. I think the line looks great, but I only really care about Indy.
Yeah. It's kind of the same way. I'm still not 100% in on even the Indiana Jones figure. I like the movies. I enjoy the movies.
Yeah.
When I first saw the figure, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to get Indiana Jones. But I might get it, but I also might not, because I would like to have, because Harrison Ford's probably my favorite actor of all time.
Sure.
But I don't know. I mean, I'll probably end up picking it up, but I'm not going to pre-order it. I'm not going to go out of my way to get it. If I see it, I might grab it. Something like that.
If I see them on sale or something, I might pick them up to get Ark of the Covenant or whatever. I think it'd be kind of cool to have a 6-inch scale Ark of the Covenant for my toy collection, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. If I see them in the future on sale, I might pick them up. I'm glad that they're not extra. Like they're still $25, you know, which is the normal price for a 6-inch toy now. And I'm glad they don't come with NFTs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
big W for the Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
You know, adventure series or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's adventure
NFTs.
series. Yeah,
we're nervous about that for a little bit. For a second.
I was, yeah. And you know, in hindsight, it's not weird that the Star Wars team is in charge of the Indiana Jones team because Indiana Jones is owned by Lucasfilm, so they already have that relationship with Lucasfilm.
They can just
it makes sense just to kind of tack it there. You don't have to have new people. Creating a new relationship with a company they already have. So that makes sense.
A question I have for you is, and on this show, we've already established that we're both against Build-A-Figure in the Black Series line.
Yeah.
But I might be down if they wanted to start doing like build, like, cause they're doing build and artifact.
Yeah.
Like I would like for maybe Black Series to do build like some type of world building piece, something like that. I don't know what they could do. I'm just trying to think like off the top of my head. Like build a base or something, you know, build like you can have Luke and Vader fighting on the stand, you know, just something like that. That's not necessarily you have to like an
build
actual
a cantina set, like
build a cantina, you know,
like they have all the parts. That cantina set comes apart pretty good. You know, 100%. They could just put a couple pieces in there.
Yeah, and I would enjoy that. I think as long as it doesn't sacrifice other accessories, you know.
That's a worry. For me, if they started doing that, it wouldn't affect me at all because I'm a completionist anyway. I'm going to buy them all anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm being forced to buy figures I wouldn't have bought anyway because I would buy them. Yeah, if they did something like that, like adding world building pieces to
build a Jabba throne, you know, release a couple Jabba, figures like that are in his, Jabba's palace.
That might be too big, but that might be too big.
Yeah,
but I'd be down.
Yeah. It'd probably be too big for like the packaging, so it'd have to be something a little smaller. But build something. I think it'd be neat, like world building stuff, like the Indiana Jones is seeming to do.
For sure. Cool. So moving on to the other announcement that's not Black Series, but kind of is.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, it's like it's a little bit Black Series.
We've got the official launch of the Selfie series.
They push this so hard in every panel. Every
so
panel.
hard.
It's like, stop! You're forcing it down our throats. Just please give me the announcements already.
So there seems to be some confusion on this. It's an $80 figure, but they had a special price point that was $60
for that weekend.
For that weekend. So because I said, you know, when I posted on mine, when I did the scan and all that stuff, like, you know, I don't know if this is worth $60, and I had so many people respond, it's actually $80. Like, guys, before you correct me, you should get your information facts.
Yeah.
You're not wrong in the sense that it's a normal retail of $80, but it was on sale for everybody for $60. So I wasn't wrong. But did you end up getting one?
No, I didn't pull the trigger on it. I probably should have, because I feel like I got one that was halfway decent. Yeah. But I just feel like my face is too skinny. Yeah. And then it's just on like a base head that's like one size fits all. So it just didn't look
feel
enough
like they
like
have
me.
Two heads. They have one kind of skinny face and one really fat face, and that's pretty much it. And that's a big issue I have. Is like, I'm not a skinny guy, and I will never say I'm a skinny guy. Even when I weighed 70 pounds less than I do now, a couple years ago, I'm still not skinny. Mm-hmm. But I'm not as fat as that figure made me look or feel.
Yeah, I just feel like I'll do it. Hopefully in like 2 years they do like a 2.0, and
that's what I was saying. 2.0.
They different, like they have different head options and like hair options, because also like there
wasn't beard options,
like extended beard. Like there wasn't a hair that looked enough like mine, and the face was too oval or round for like my skinny face. So I was just like, it's not even gonna look like me. Like they had the damn Hasbro team showing figures, and it looked nothing like them. So I was like, I'm not gonna pull the trigger right now.
One in every five I've
or
seen
six
kind of looks like the person. I did end up getting one, even though I said I wasn't going to.
Yours looks like Bubba Ray Dudley.
It doesn't. And part of me is the missing that beard. Like the beard is a big part of my face shape. Like it's cool that I could be bald, and I'm not super bummed about the glasses he's not going to come with, because
I
can
probably find someone a different figure. I
have glasses. Like I bought a freaking a Beast Marvel Legends figure just because he's going to come with glasses. Like I've got glasses I can put on him, and there are on like Etsy and eBay people that make glasses that you can buy for your figures. So that's not going to be that big of an issue. Heck, I'll have Justin print me up a pair of glasses or something. Yep. The glasses aren't that big of a thing, but the beard, only having painted on beard options is it's a huge part of my look, is my big beard. Even when I trim it down, it's not as trimmed down as what the figure looked like, on top of looking way chubbier than I really look in person. It is cool. Like you can give yourself different looks. Like I've seen people do smirks or their open mouth or things like that. And I played around with it, doing a couple scans. I left my glasses on to see what it would look like with the glasses on. And it does kind of, the front of it, the glasses were part of the paint. Obviously it wouldn't look good in person, but on the picture at the very least you could see it. But it's just, I don't think it's going to be worth the $60, but as a completionist, I wanted to get one so I can definitively say, anyone that didn't get this is right to not get it.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Exactly.
We appreciate it.
And I figured if I didn't do it now when it was 60, I definitely wouldn't do it when it was 80.
I couldn't pull the trigger on it, and I honestly kind of forgot, because I had a head scan that I was like, okay, this isn't terrible. Maybe I'll do it. And that was like on Sunday at like 5 or 6 o'clock. And then I kind of forgot about it, and the next day I had the scan was lost, because you can't save the scan for some reason, but so I lost it, and it was 80. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it right now. Yeah. So I went with the Mando body. It's nice that they do come with the guns, like the blasters and stuff. Like that's nice, I guess. But I didn't want the Stormtrooper body, because it's the old Stormtrooper body, and I definitely didn't want the X-Wing Luke body. There's some questions about whether or not the head can come off. I saw someone post on a Facebook group that they got their head off. They got it off.
It's not. People were saying it was supposed to be like fragile resin. It didn't seem to be that way.
Yeah, I'm interested to see whenever people get theirs.
Yeah. Paragon Fuzz said that as a completionist, I should have one of each body. Yeah, that's definitely not happening. Absolutely. Well, to be a real completionist, I need one of everyone's face on everybody.
You need all
I need everybody. Everybody's face.
80,000. Amazing.
No, I'm not. This is not part of the Black Series line, so I'm not.
I wouldn't.
I'm not going to do that.
I wouldn't. No. I mean, you already have the figure that they're sending you anyway.
Exactly. I can just pop the head off.
Buying the head. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Selfie Series was. I definitely feel like the people that were announcing the hosts, they were over the top.
They were saying it was a lot better than it is. The technology needs to improve a little bit before it's going to sell as much as they probably wanted it to. I think this is a good start.
They have to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. This has never been done before.
That's a good point.
It's a new technology. They've got to start it somewhere. I feel like for a lot of people it's passable, and for some people it's probably spot on. But then for some people like me, it doesn't look anything like
Nate's
them. You
looks
too.
really good.
Nate's
actually,
looks great. Justin's did not.
I think he just has that like head shape that's accurate to like what they have, and then the beard looks good.
Yep.
Nate's just a generic looking guy. I gotta be honest. So the figure
Nate
it looks just like
the
him.
most NPC looking person I've ever seen. Nate, I love you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We actually have this in our note. Let's do
it. Actually
a roast,
is. It says
roast
Nate equals
Nate
NPC
session.
roast. Yeah, absolutely. But I definitely feel like if you didn't get your selfie series, you're probably okay.
Yeah, I don't think you're missing out on anything unless you had a scan. Like people who, fortunately, like for Nate, his looked enough like him, and then there's other people that it looked enough like them to pass, and then but some people, it just looked completely not like them. Like Patrick's was terrible when he showed it. Like it was god awful.
Most of those people, like the Emily, like none of them looked like theirs, like them. Like, yes, I guess the hair color matches. I guess like nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so moving on, we got some actual Black Series news reveals, starting with one that we already talked about. The
Andor
2-pack. Cassian Andor B2 Emo 2-pack, which we already knew. Like they already announced this or it had been leaked or whatever. Like we already knew this was coming, but it was on sale in stock for, I think it was $56. And then once it sold out
after the shipping, because I had we both have the Pulse Premium.
Yeah,
it was $56 after tax. I think I want to say
something like that.
$54.99 I think was retail. Maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel bad for the people that don't have Pulse Premium because I think it was like $10 shipping or something like that, and like that's a lot of shipping because that turns a 55 whatever into $65, and that does suck.
And as much as I order from Pulse, I feel like I've kind of already gotten my $50 back.
Oh, I made my $50 back this weekend alone because since I have free shipping, I don't care about making, I just got to buy this one real quick. Like, for instance, when like Serpentor went up for the G.I. Joe, like I pre-ordered specifically him, and that was it. Like I didn't add anything to it to save on shipping. I didn't care because it's free shipping. So I think I made between G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, I think I made like 6 purchases from Hasbro Pulse
alone.
This weekend, each one was like $10 or $11 shipping. So that by itself paid for the cost of Hasbro Pulse Premium.
Yeah,
by itself.
I'm just like looking at this Andor figure while we're talking about it, and he's so shiny. Like, look at his hands. Even his hands look like they were dipped in oil. In his defense, like it rained in the show. That is true. It rained when he was wearing this, but I feel like they shouldn't try to put that on the figure. I don't know what they're going for, but
hit that matte spray, buddy.
Yeah, I haven't done the matte spray yet, but it's just weird. Like, and maybe if somebody watched all the Q&As, can you please let me know if they asked about the shininess on figures
or Lukeness?
Yeah, and because on a previous Q&A they asked that bald guy Chris, is that his name? I don't really know the names.
Yeah,
like they asked him. And he like completely denied that it even exists. It's like, do you not get the figures once they're done? Like they're like the faces have been super shiny,
very shiny. Yeah, cool. Well, on top of that, we got some actual Andor mainline figures. So that Cassian Andor is coming out in the line, not the upcoming wave, but the wave after that, and we'll get into that in a bit. But they showed off the Cassian Andor by himself. So if you didn't want to buy the 2-pack, you could buy the Cassian by itself if you don't want B2 Emo.
Yep, I think B2 is worth it personally after having
100%. I agree.
I would say 100%. So for sure.
Yeah. I would never not want B2.
Yeah.
And as of right now, B2 Emo is not announced as a figure coming out. So I'm not saying that he's not going to be a figure coming out, but like we've seen that before. Like Paplu still hasn't been announced in any part of the regular line. Toto 360, there's no Toto 360 for a long time. If you wanted to get Salacious Crumb,
Yeah.
go screw yourself, I guess.
Yeah. Pat Blue is currently pipelined
Did he?
for
Did
Return
he
of the
get pipeline?
Jedi.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was SDCC. They pipelined Wave 2 of the Return of the Jedi, and he's in that.
Okay.
So he's an actual figure that like an Ewok. They haven't done Toto.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like B2 is like he has enough size to.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're gonna release that Grogu as a mainline, this might get mainlined eventually, but they're definitely gonna hold off so people buy the 2-pack. And you're also paying like. I feel like you're also paying for the presentation of the box also.
Oh, 100%.
It's a big 2-pack.
Yeah, you're paying for the presentation. You're also paying for the fact that it's a convention exclusive. They make fewer of them, so the price is going to be a little bit higher. That's true for every convention exclusive.
Yeah. I also feel like it's weird, just real quick, on the packaging. So we have the front normal standard, like, has like the black and really, really, like, I guess like
it's really black.
The shiny black and the matte black and then the red. It's like standard.
It's really hard to see and make out what's on the box.
And on the back of it, it's like bare nothing. And I know you slide this out, so this is technically the back of each of them.
Yeah.
But there's like the Star Wars Black Series logo, the Andor stripe down here, and then like nothing.
Yeah.
I thought there's no description of the show or anything. It was kind of interesting that there's no like obvious like crazy marketing on it or anything. It's pretty neat.
I like that you can just pull the trays out. Like they're not attached with that weird springy thing like the previous ones have been. Like Cad Bane and the armor. Like it was really hard to get their accessories out because you had to basically break the packaging to get it out.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they didn't do that. Anyways, so there were some other figures shown off and announced on top of the ones we've seen before. So we have Bix, Cassian's friend, and Hottie, one of my favorite parts of the show. She's great.
She's really good. She's really good.
Yep. She got that boot-looking trader boyfriend guy,
The thing I'll say about that figure is I wish the yellow pad, the data pad she comes with.
Yeah.
It's really cool that it plugs in, like the piece she has, it plugs into it.
Yeah.
But again, and I mentioned this earlier when we were talking about B2 for the first time, like normally in Black Series they don't do a lot of weathering anymore. And they did for B2, which is really cool. But for this, like there needs to be some type of wash on that data pad to make it look a little more Star Wars, like real, like worldy, like used, and it's just a really bright yellow, so I might give that a wash or whatever. I know Luke will.
Oh, Luke will.
Easy.
It'd be weird if Luke didn't, to be honest.
Yeah, it would be. Good point.
Yep. So,
and then we got Luthen.
Yeah, we got Luthen. Was it Rael? Rael?
I have no idea. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. So it was Bix Colleen. I'm looking the full names up since you just put their first names on there. And Luthen Rael, who's Stellan Skarsgård.
Great character in the show so far.
Love his character in the show, and I also want to get a version of him, the Coruscant version with the wig on.
Yep.
Like I love that when he's being a rebel person, like he has a completely different look than when he's being upstanding citizen Coruscant person.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
Wow.
Sorry,
got that talking hard stuff.
And then Mon Mothma was another reveal from Andor, which I'm really hyped that it's coming out. Like it's weird that I'm excited for Mon Mothma, but
especially because there's two big things against her. Number one, I mean, she looks like a traffic cone. I mean, her feet are not covered, so she's not a traffic cone because like there's a good half inch in between the ground and her skirts, but like she's covered in skirts. Like you're not gonna be getting any crazy, big poses out of her.
Yeah,
but she also
good to have that representation on the shelf.
Finally, having a Mon Mothma in the line, but she also doesn't have any accessories whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh, she doesn't. Wow. I'm just now kind of thinking about that, like for the first time.
Like no extra hands, no accessories, but she has a ton of paint apps. Like an absolute ton of paint apps. The gold in the sleeves, all the different paint apps on the chains and stuff.
Yeah, the texture of her dress, like that piece kind of underneath, around her thighs and knees area. Yeah, I'm excited for this one, even though it's just a standard, like, human.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that's kind of a problem. That's kind of a problem with Andor as a show. As much as I love it,
not enough aliens
later. Well, it's just everyone's just people in clothes, you know, like Cassie and Andor, just dude in clothes. Bix, just a chick in clothes, you know, like there's nothing distinct or special about them, but we'll get into that. Yeah.
We'll get into that. Hey, at the end, we're going to do some thoughts on Andor.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. And then, I want to talk about like the wave that these figures are thrown into, just to, if people don't know. So these Andor figures that we just talked about, Cassian, Bix, Luthen, and Mon Mothma, they're going to be in wave 35, which also includes HK-87, the Luke from Mando season 2, and then the rumor, the Act-Face rumor, is Din Djarin as like the Morak tank trooper to match the I can't think of his name off the top of my head for some reason.
Miggs Mayfeld.
Yeah, the Miggs one we already have. And then there's a to be determined, like the 8th figure in that line. So no repacks in that line.
Nope.
Which is going to be really cool.
Yep.
And that's the wave coming after the Darth Maul, Aayla Secura, Krang,
which is
Inquisitor, Grief Karga, Miggs, Grogu,
overseas,
Obi-Wan, and Axe Woves.
They officially announced Axe Woves, which I thought they already had, but apparently they hadn't.
Yeah, I feel like we've known about this for like a long time now.
We've seen pictures.
Yeah. People have it in hand. Like, literally, people have it in hand. And I think Luminous Monster has it in hand, doesn't he?
Yes,
and they
he does.
just now officially revealed it. Like, kind of weird, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's happened before, but...
Yeah.
It's weird when it happens.
Going to be in wave 34. And I have that case pre-ordered, so I'm getting
Me too.
For sure.
Yeah, so wave 34 should be coming out really anytime now. Like I would be very surprised if it was in the next two weeks or so.
Yeah, they're starting to hit. I think they were hitting the East Coast a little bit.
Yes, they've been seen at Walmart on the East Coast.
Let's go. I'm excited.
So I have mine on pre-order from Dorkside Toys, but it's one of those things like, you know, people start reporting, Entertainment Earth is processing my order. Like I will drop my Dorkside Toys order and move to ASAP, Entertainment Earth in a heartbeat to get these figures.
It's such a good wave.
Yeah, looking forward to that Darth Maul. Looking forward to the Grand Inquisitor. Looking forward to Miggs Mayfeld. Looking forward to Aayla
Secura.
Aayla Secura. Even Grief Karga looks great. The only one I'm not super stoked on is the Grogu, and getting another Wandering Jedi Obi-Wan.
Yeah, it's a banger wave for sure. Other than like the Grogu and then the Obi-Wan, you know, hopefully I can get something for it on eBay or like do a giveaway or something. I'm sure somebody want it or whatever. But yeah, it's a banger wave. But jumping back to Pulsecon, now let's talk about some Return of the Jedi anniversary figures.
Yeah.
So I did go back and I actually had notes. I was kind of slow at work one day, so I went back and watched just to see what they said about it. And Patrick did say this is the final wave of these anniversary figures. So I guess there's.
He said that for the pipelines.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's going to be the final wave that we already know. But
so there's going to be 3 waves. It looks like.
Yeah, I do want to say they only pipelined 4 though.
Yeah.
But the first 2 waves each have 5. So is there one more?
Yeah. Who knows?
Are they going to count the Admiral Akbar, Kenner?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to count that or not. Yeah.
Is that going to be technically part of the wave 3? Or because I feel like we're missing one right now.
We'll see.
I feel like we're missing
They could
one.
have some surprises for us.
I hope so.
But they showed off and you can pre-order the first wave of 40th anniversary figures. So we've got the Han Solo and Andor, which again, if you already have them, cool. Like I do. I'm not going to buy them.
Same.
Princess Leia Endor, same thing. Like these are both great figures. They came out in 2021. And if you missed them then, it's a great time to pick them up. If you've somehow never picked up a Skiff Lando, either in the original release
these days.
or the archive release, you can now also get him on a Return of the Jedi. No, I understand Return of the Jedi card. Like if you,
understand
if you
the
really
card,
want that,
I don't understand
if you want
the
that card
archive.
back. No, they should not have released it in the archive. It doesn't make any sense that they released it in the archive. Even if the Rancor had come out, and I've seen people theorizing, it's because the Rancor was supposed to come out, so they wanted to, and that kind of makes sense.
It was
except
still
for
easily accessible.
Yeah, he's not a figure, and they've said this. They use the archive line for those figures that are hard to get, that are going for a lot on the aftermarket, and for figures that are going to be relevant. Like they did that whole the troop wave with the Tusken Raider and the Shore Trooper, stuff like that. They did that because they were in Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, and so you could have those again, and that makes sense. But Skiff Lando doesn't make any sense as the archive line.
I feel like I've said this a ton, but they move the goalposts on every archive release. Yeah. Sometimes they say, like, if we ask in a Q&A for, like, why can't we get the clone commander Obi-Wan head on the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan body? Like, we can't, we're not going to retool archive. Like, we're using archive for how it was when it came out. But then we turn around and then, like, other archives get new tooling, and then, like, this archive, like, it's not, like, they say, we're releasing this one because it's hard to get now, but we're releasing this one because, like, but you can get the Lando. It's not hard to get, and it doesn't need to be updated, so why are we getting it? They move the goalposts on every archive release, so... Yeah. End rant.
No, it's a good rant.
It'd be better if they just updated the damn figures and put them in the damn
100%
in the mainline packaging or the anniversary packaging,
Yep.
But okay, I'm done.
Yeah. It's okay. No, it's good. I like it. The last two figures we have in the first wave of 40th anniversary figures is we have the Scout Trooper, which I did pre-order one because you can't have too many Scout Troopers. Sure. Yeah. And then the lone new, because there's always new figures in these. They
always throw in one or two.
They always throw in one or two new figures. With Empire Strikes Back as the Hoth Rebel Soldier and the Snowspeeder Luke. This time we're finally getting Wicket, and he looks great,
fabulous. He's got like some dry brush painting or something. It looks like his on his face and body. It looks so good. I'm so excited to have Wicket, and since he's smaller, it looks like they loaded us up on accessories in case you need any for other Ewoks or whatever. So hyped about that.
Yeah, we're gonna have a ton of little like Ewok spears, like the Princess Leia Ewok Village came with one. Yeah. So we're gonna have a whole. We need a little weapons rack for Ewok. Even Tebow came with like two spears. Like you only need to give him one. He comes with a bow and arrow, which I think is kind of cool. Like I'm in on that. The only thing is, do I want to get him 40th anniversary, or do I want to wait for his eventual actual release in the line? Because my problem is, I like to buy them by the case. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if I have him on the card or whatever, and I already have him on my shelf, like when he comes out in the line, am I going to care about having that figure in the actual box? It's a weird conundrum for me.
You pre-ordered the Scout Trooper, right?
I did.
And you haven't pre-ordered Wicket yet?
I did.
Okay.
No, I always put a pre-order down because you can always cancel it. Like it doesn't cost anything to pre-order anything. So
I would say get this now, because since they're releasing it now, you never know how long it's going to take for them to put it in the main line.
True.
So I would get it now and open it when you get it.
All right.
Because I'm trying to think. I feel like they've done this with other figures where...
No, they have.
Like they release it on a card and it takes a little longer for them to put it in the main line, maybe. I'm trying to think.
Well, for instance, that the Death Star Trooper that you got, like that came out in 2017, and then it came out, the one in card came out like a year later in 2018 after the face printing happened.
Yeah. I would go ahead and get it now, so that way you don't have to wait to have a Wicket,
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna wait. There's no way I'll wait. As soon as I see other people with a Wicket, I'm like, fuck, I need a Wicket.
Yeah,
I need a Wicket so bad.
And plus, it'll probably be like you'll see it on the peg anyways if you canceled your pre-order and be like, oh, I need this. Yeah, I need this right now because it's retail. It's just $24.99 still.
No, you're right.
These aren't upcharge. Same price.
No, you're right. I'll get it.
But
I mean,
now,
I already got it pre-ordered. Yeah.
So now we have the pipeline reveals, which I thought it was interesting that they only revealed 4 when they said it was the final wave because the first 2 have 5 each of them.
It's true.
So first, I guess the first one we'll talk about is the Royal Guard repack. This makes sense. Some people are upset it's another repack. This is what the line is for. This is what the anniversary figures are for. They're going to have repacks in there.
Plus, it's a Royal Guard. Like,
yeah, they've released.
It's a troop builder,
Yeah, and they've released the Emperor multiple times now, Archive, and he's in Wave 2 of the Return of the Jedi anniversary.
Now, what they really want is for them to release the chair. Like that's what people care about.
That's what they should have done.
Because for some reason they missed the Amazon one.
Yeah, they should have done a deluxe Return of the Jedi anniversary like packaging Emperor 100%. With chair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, they should have. They should. Yeah. They should do it. Yeah.
And then they announced a Luke Skywalker, which I am actually really hyped for this because when I got out of the Black Series years ago, I sold that original blue line Luke, so I don't have that flap open representation in the line anymore or on my shelf.
Well, so this one isn't that one though. This one's going to be based on this is going to be based on the new one.
They say it's going to be based on the new body that they're doing for the Mando Season 2 Luke, but it's going to have that it should have that flap because that's the picture they showed. They said it was from that duel, so they got to do the flap, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm down for getting another Jedi Luke, especially on that new Luke body. Basically, this is the one that was probably going to come with the Rancor, is my guess.
Yeah, this and I think the new Mando Season 2 one, basically.
Well, yeah, but this one specifically.
Because it's Return of the Jedi head sculpt and all that. Yeah. Yep, that makes sense. And they might have the optional, you can remember how the old one has you take off the chest. It's like a plug.
Oh, I have it. I know.
Plug and swap.
It.
Yeah. So maybe they'll do that. Maybe it'll just be molded with the thing down, the little flap.
Maybe,
but who knows?
Yeah.
And then, let's see. Patrick said with the Darth Vader because they showed him with the helmet off. So we're finally getting. Even though I just bought this one from Sleeping Collectibles for $30. He said we're gonna have a quintessential Return of the Jedi Darth Vader, which is really awesome. Hopefully we get swappable heads, or hopefully the helmet looks really good and doesn't look like a dog. But I'm really excited. They said it was going to have
new tooling as well.
Yeah. So they said
I'm
this is
really
be a quintessential
hoping
Darth Vader.
I'm really hoping we get some new Vader legs, because for all the different Vaders they've released, he's always had the same legs, and I want new legs. I want new legs for Vader.
It's not happening.
I want new Vader legs, man.
I feel like they won't do it, but I really hope they will.
Yeah.
I really hope so.
But that's not the biggest thing.
That's not the biggest.
No, the biggest thing's coming out. We're getting a brand new, all newly tooled R2-D2.
We have been clamoring for this. R2 in the line currently is way too small. Yep. So this opens up the door for a new R5 in scale, multiple different paint apps on R2.
I will rebuy every
astromech. Yeah. Right. This was the biggest news of the day, in my opinion.
Oh, I think I shit my pants when they said that.
Yeah. Brand new sculpted R2. I wonder, the current R2, or the original one they released, has all those flaps you open and things you plug in and pull out and swappable pieces, little accessories. I wonder if they'll do that for this too, or if it'll just be, kind of a plain sculpt where you can't pull. The other one you can pull pieces of the head out and plug stuff in.
Yeah, I've lost a couple of those because they pop out when they fall off the shelf or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm super excited for this in scale R2. It's going to be fabulous.
Yeah, very much. And they even said that it's coming up on the 10th anniversary of the Black Series line, and he was one of the new ones. So I really do think that this is part of that. I think the reason we're getting an all new R2D2 is because I think we're going to get some kind of 10th anniversary Black Series line with all new sculpting. And this R2D2 is just a little taste of that.
It'd be kind of cool if they did like the first 4, like
that's
the
what I'm saying. Yeah.
all new sculpt.
Give us a new X-Wing Luke. Give us a new Darth Maul. Yeah,
that'd be insane.
All new tooling from the ground up. I would love it.
Yeah.
And then we got the last three little pipelines.
I do want to jump in and say this real quick before we move on to the Book of Boba Fett. So when I was watching the Q&A, the first 6 minutes of it that I did watch, somebody did ask about the slave Leia, prisoner Leia figure, whether that's on or off the table. And of course they said, we can't talk about anything that hasn't been announced, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully it's like for the Return of the Jedi anniversary. Hopefully that's on the table for this, because it seems like there might be a missing figure. So they said stay tuned.
My hopes up.
So I'm not getting my
hopes up.
But maybe they'll do that. Let's cross our fingers for
I hope one of those. I hope it is, because that figure needs a whole new figure.
It's actually a terrible figure.
It needs new legs. It needs new arms. Basically, like they did, like the Luke Skywalker with Dagobah. Like if they did the new sculpting with the Leia, it would look great.
Yeah.
So I don't want like an archive release of that figure, because it needs a whole new. It needs a whole new figure.
Yeah.
But we got 3 little pipeline things they added on there. The first one, another one of it was like basically bam, 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 because at this point they were running out of time. And they were literally just machine gunning these reveals out. Like, these are pipeline.
It was fabulous.
And they hit me with like a 1, 2, 3, 4 hit combo with the new Luke, new Vader, new R2, and then bam, Cad Bane, Book of Boba Fett. And I was just like, oh my, I can't take this. I can't take it. It was great.
Cad Bane's gonna be sick. The 100% Cad Bane.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that. I'm so stoked for that one.
Definitely. Yeah, we need a Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With the tights on instead of
the tights with the baggy pants. The
drape. We need the tights. Hasbro, give me my Boba Fett with the leggings. Come on now, I need it.
None of those hammer pants.
Yeah, I'm done with those. I'm done.
No, it was too legit. But now we need. Now we need those tights. So we're getting the Cad Bane looking like his Book of Boba Fett iteration, which very excited for.
Yeah,
we're getting a Pike, just like a random Pike, and
Army Builder. You can get
Army Builder. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I love aliens in the line.
Yeah. And this is a very cool release, because you can also put it on your Clone Wars shelf if you want to buy a couple of them.
It can go so many places.
Solo, you can put it into the Solo shelf. Like, this is a cool release.
Yep. And then we're getting the Tusken Chief.
Hyped. And TVC is getting the other one, so that's gonna flip.
Eventually, it's gonna flip. 100%.
We'll get both of them.
You know what? Sure. Speaking of which, can we talk about TVC for a second? Can I rant?
Shoot.
Can I rant a little bit?
I love it. This is what I love to see.
Go. I am all for. We joke, we jab, but it's all in good fun about being anti TVC, because at the end of the day, we're all Star Wars collectors. It's all toys. We like.
What's going on?
We're committed to our 6-inch scale, but we have nothing against people in reality who collect TVC. The reason that we might go a little overboard sometimes literally is because of people like Blue Harvest Collector, who they take it way too far with their online campaigns of hashtag save 375. Like, you're just like, come on, dude, come on. So I'm always happy to see when TVC gets love. They're getting a Hunter. The Hunter looks great. In fact, the Hunter is another instance of a better release than what the Black Series got. And mostly that's because Hasbro put the shin guards on the right side of the leg armor. So on the Black Series, the knee pads are on the thigh part as opposed to the shin part. and it looks ridiculous. But Vintage Collection, they fixed it. So it's one of those things, they have to wait longer, but because of that wait, they're getting a better figure release. But that wasn't the thing that really got to me. What really got to me is the Cantina band member set. They announced for $90 the full 7-member set, which is weird for the people that bought Figure and Dan by himself. Because
I kind of feel bad for people who bought like 3 or 4 of them, anticipating like a deluxe Kneel and Chill, kind of similar to how Black Series did. And then now they get swamped with
that sucks the whole because set. now if you want to buy them all, you just got to buy a whole set. Well, but good Lord, do those instruments look fantastic.
Paint is a lot better on those.
The paint, the sculpting of the instruments looks way better than what we got on the Black Series. And I say this as someone who did a deep dive into the Cantina band, the modal nodes. Like I spent hours researching, looking at pictures, trying to figure out what the difference between a Dorinian Beshnickel and a friggin' Kluhorn and a double Jossamer are. You like 2 months ago, I couldn't have told you what any of those were. Now I know the differences, The Vintage Collection just looks stellar. It looks great. And it makes me feel like what we got in the Black Series is kind of sucky. It's kind of garbage. And it's not even like with the Hunter, you're like, we've had Hunter for a year and a half. Like the Figure and Dan just came out. Like the Black what's going on with that? It's so weird.
Yeah, TVC is definitely getting the better treatment when it comes to paint apps. On multiple figures now, it's a constant theme now with, I think, Bo-Katan looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Queel looks a lot better. Like a lot of the paint apps for TVC are really good. Their Darth Vader came with extra hands. Our Darth Vader is a straight re-release with a quality control fix on the back of the helmet and like a better sized, like form-fitting cape. Or maybe not form-fitting. It shouldn't have gone that far, but a better like.
It's a better proportional
it's a better
cape.
Size. Yeah, it's proportional cape. Like, but that guy specifically that you mentioned, they revealed a damn bunker, a TVC indoor bunker, and he posted saying like it was like a trash Pulsecon for TVC. Like, okay, whatever, dude.
People just aren't happy.
Yeah. They got Cassian revealed, and they got like Val or whatever her name is, the blonde character in Andor.
Yep.
So they got Oh well. Yeah, but Black Series definitely getting the short end of the stick on some paint apps.
Man, it's so sad to see it because it's a higher price point line. It's a larger price point, a larger canvas. You can have those paint apps in there, but nope.
And it used to not be that way. It used to they used to go like the original figures they went heavy on like paint apps and all that. And now paint apps is a deluxe price for Cobb Vanth, and then they don't end up giving you full
painting everything.
There's unpainted parts of it. You're like, didn't I pay an extra $4? Or $6 or whatever for paint, and like you have unpainted, like ammo shells on your belt and stuff. It's like come on. But yeah, end rant, I suppose. That's the Cad Bane, Pike, and Tusken Chief. So hopefully we get and I'm stoked for the Tusken Chief. That's gonna be a 6th Black Series figure.
Oh, 100%.
Yep. And then so hopefully we get his partner. I they were partners, right? The one with the, what would you call that? Like the drape, the black drape.
Yeah, like the warrior guy or whatever.
Hopefully we get that one soon. And then this is a big announcement, and they also revealed like a Clone Wars helmet roleplay with it. And some did they do something else? I can't remember. But we got the Clone Wars era 20th anniversary, which I actually, thinking back now, this is a lot better than doing an Attack of the Clones anniversary. This is a lot better because you can celebrate that movie. You can celebrate Jenny Tartakovsky. You can throw a figure of that in there. You can celebrate, the Clone Wars. You can probably even do maybe not Bad Batch, but Clone Wars era,
It encompasses
Sith.
a lot. Yeah.
It's like a whole. They're celebrating 20 years of like that era of Star Wars. So I absolutely it's a great reveal. I wish we could have got a figure or two with it, which I'll talk about when we do our overall Pulsecon thoughts in a minute.
I was kind of expecting. That was one of the things I was expecting. A reveal or two, because it's this weekend that we're recording. We're recording on Sunday. We usually record on Thursdays, but because this weekend was New York City Comic-Con, which is a big comic convention.
Yeah,
it's
huge.
Arguably as big as San Diego Comic-Con. Maybe slightly not as big, but it's still big. I was expecting some kind of announcement to go with it, but we got nothing.
Yep, not a single New York Comic-Con release or announcement, I should say. Unfortunately, but I guess they saved all their stuff. They crammed it all into Pulsecon, I guess. But what are some things that you want to see from this Clone Wars era?
Oh man, well we've already gotten a couple of like the Genndy Tartakovsky stuff. I wouldn't mind seeing more. But, definitely the staples, like anything from, there's a lot of stuff from Clone Wars that we haven't seen in the line. A lot of those big name 501st guys, Jesse, Fives, stuff like that. So I'd love to see stuff like that. Obviously, super battle droids. I don't know if we'll see anything new. Who knows?
New sculpted, yeah. Hopefully. Yeah, we need droidicas. We need super battle droids. I need a new sculpt Episode 3 Anakin, whether they want to do that now or for the Revenge of the Sith anniversary. Who knows? But I'm not going to get people are pretty excited about the Clone War or the clone helmet, the Phase 2 helmet they announced. Yeah. I'm not going to get that, but I'm definitely going to get the repaint whenever they make it a 501st helmet. That'll be a day one pre-order for me personally.
Sure, that makes sense.
That's my favorite clone. I have 4 helmets already. That's probably the
Paragon Fuzz.
That's
says
probably
he wants
the
a
last
dirge.
helmet I would get. That and the
501st,
and then I'd be done. Yeah, the 501st and then a Kylo one, and then I'd be good.
It is kind of weird they didn't do a Kylo Ren helmet. Like, even if you don't like the sequel series, the sequel trilogy, like Kylo Ren's got a really cool helmet.
They did a Kylo Ren helmet, but it was so long ago, it's like worth a ton of money on secondary market now. But they could do like a Episode 9 one with the cracks or whatever.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. But yeah, I would like to see a Dirge Paragon Fuzz for sure.
Yeah, Dirge would be cool. Yeah. And then another Ventress. That'd be sick.
Savage Press, absolutely.
Savage Press, that'd be really, really cool. So overall thoughts on PulseCon. I'll start off. I thought it was a good PulseCon for Black Series. I think it was good. It wasn't great in my opinion. We got some really cool reveals, but I feel like you mentioned earlier, the coolest stuff was in pipeline. There wasn't enough here, look at this figure. We finally got to see. We finally got to see. Han Solo on Endor on the card back. Yay. Skip Lando on the card back. Yay. Leia card back. Yay. And then we finally got to see Scout Trooper on card back. Didn't know what that would look like. But we finally got to see Wicket. They had the actual figure. But I feel like there wasn't enough physical figure reveals. There was just a lot of pipeline.
Yeah. And I was kind of hoping that some of those physical reveals would have got pushed to New York City Comic Con. Yeah. So I was kind of okay with the amount that we got revealed at PulseCon because I assumed it would be supplemented a week later by New York City Comic Con, which it wasn't. And now, specifically right now, my opinion of it has tanked a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was still good, for Black Series collectors, for diehards like me.
Yeah.
Personally, I thought, it was a good one, but it could have been pushed up to, a great, if maybe if we saw some of those pipeline figures, in at least, in hand or something.
Or just other figures that, have been rumored or that we know are coming.
Yeah.
Like Scorch would have been good to show off,
Yeah.
or
just
you know,
some physical, like show
Yeah.
us physical figures that we know
Yeah.
are in the pipeline, like, or that are on the way, like the
Yeah.
Din Djarin
well, and
tank
part of it,
trooper, you know.
part
Show
of
us
it's
that you got a
something-
good sculpt for that.
exactly, and part of it's some like I love Andor as a show. It's great, and we'll get into this a little bit more. We could actually just kind of transition into it because
Yeah, go ahead.
my opinion of Andor as a show is kind of what's coloring my opinion of the reveals. Andor is a fantastic show. Love it. But it's not a
Plain.
very interesting Star Wars show. Like, and again, I don't want anyone to hear me say I don't like Andor. I love it. I love it as a Star Wars type that we've never seen before. But Star Wars has, since day one, been made to sell toys.
Yeah.
Like that's why George Lucas made Star Wars, was so that he could sell toys and merchandise and stuff. And a lot of the designs and things like that, they make sure that it's somewhat toyetic, you know. Whereas Andor, as much as I love it, is not a toyetic show. Like, look at the 4 characters we got: Bix, Luthen, Mon Mothma. What
Yeah,
10-year-old
Andor,
kid?
like-
Yeah, what 10-year-old kid's like? I want a old man Luthen. I want a Stellan
Yeah.
Skarsgård. You know, like there's a reason we haven't seen a Marvel Legends Stellan Skarsgård figure from
Yeah.
Avengers. You know, Bix, her character comes with a computer pad. You know, and not even like a gun.
It's like an iPad, yeah. Like,
yeah, she comes with a freaking iPad, you know, and just like they, visually speaking, while they look good, they're just not toyetic.
yeah, I mean, you hit the nail right on the head. Like,
Yeah.
they're just human characters.
They're just
you know?
they're just people, and as much as I am getting them, it's hard to get super excited about
Yeah.
buying them,
Yeah, I 100%
because
agree.
they're just not interesting looking, I guess. Mon Mothma looks gorgeous. I'm happy to finally have a Mon Mothma, but she's still just a figure of a lady with literally zero accessories, no alternate
Yeah,
hands,
yeah.
and because of the nature of her sculpted robes and stuff, she doesn't even look like you can have like
A good
neat posing,
poses,
you know?
yeah.
So like, what kind of toy is that? Am I just buying a statue at that point? Like a good looking statue, but so it's 4 of the figures that we got physically shown off. One of them we'd seen before with the Cassian Andor, and the other 3, I'm just like, sure,
Yeah.
I guess. Like, I'll buy them because I'm a completionist. I'll buy them because I
Yeah.
like the show. But at this point, it feels more like I'm obligated to buy them than I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
buy them.
Yeah, that's, I totally understand that, because I feel kind of bad about it, because I normally wait. I normally don't do this, but I canceled Wave 35 case order because
Oh, did you?
I ordered it whenever it was HK 87
Yeah.
and Luke, and then a bunch of question marks, and then the rumor was there was going to be some Andor figures, and then like
Yeah.
the Din Djarin room tank, but it's coming with a Cassian Andor,
Which you already have.
repack. I already have the Pulsecon version, and with the B2, and then like that, those Target, like the like Saw Gerrera and what's it, the little Jawa, I can't remember the name, but
Tika?
those were on clearance after like 3
Yeah.
weeks. So
Yeah.
I feel like these aren't going to be hard to find in store at all. So I'm just going to pick them up when I see them. That way I don't have to deal with having another Cassian, because the rest of the wave, I pre-ordered Luke separately and HK.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to
Yeah.
get those. But I feel like the rest of the wave isn't worth like dealing with getting a second Cassian, and then whatever this TBD figure is, who knows what it like, and then but the Wave 34 is worth me dealing with getting another Wandering Jedi Obi-Wan, because those are going to be some
Yeah.
tough to get figures, like the Darth Maul and Ayla,
Oh, for
probably,
sure.
and Grand
Yeah.
Inquisitor at
Yeah.
first and all that. So I just feel like the Bix, Luthen, and Mon Mothma, I was like, that's not like really exciting. I'm just gonna cancel the wave, and I'll find those like within a week, at my Target or whatever. I'm pretty confident in that. So yeah, I actually canceled the case, and I'm gonna wait a bit on
So
those.
so the reveals made you cancel an order you already made.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm still
yeah.
excited for the Luke and the HK. I'm gonna
Sure.
get the figures. It's just,
But you don't need the whole case because you don't really super care about some of those figures.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, if I never got a Bix Black Series figure, I'm like 100% okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, as of now, especially
Yeah.
we've seen 5 episodes of Andor.
Yeah.
She hasn't done anything.
I didn't even know she's going to show up in the rest of the
now.
series, you know?
Yeah,
Like, she was
if
in the
she
first
doesn't-
3 episodes or whatever, but like, I don't think she's going to come back. I don't know.
Yeah, like if she doesn't, like, I'm sure she will since they put some time with her character, but she'll come back and help him at
Maybe
right?
not.
Maybe.
Her part of the
But-
story is kind of done. Like, Cassian's
Yeah.
moved on to doing something else, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And
So I'm not gonna be mad. Like, I feel like I'm gonna get it, but
Yeah.
I don't want to get that figure for the full retail 25 personally. You know.
no,
That's just-
I get it.
So,
But that's also kind of the problem there is, you know, again, it's not a problem. It's just a problem when you're making toys based on a property.
yeah.
Okay. So like, for instance, House of the Dragon or Rings of Power. Those are 2 big fantasy shows. I'm enjoying watching them. But if they were like, here's a toy line based of them, I probably wouldn't buy any of them because as much as I'm enjoying watching them, it's not something like, oh, I want a Galadriel on my shelf or I want a whatever Matt Smith's character from Damon Targaryen on my shelf. I'm enjoying it, but I don't feel the need
Yeah.
to own parts of it. And
Exactly.
that's kind
You
of where
hit it right there. Like with Bix, I'm enjoying it, but do I need a Bix on my shelf for $25?
I just don't know. And the other problem, not a problem, but issue is Andor is being a very slow burn. I don't have to worry about spoiler warnings for the show because there hasn't been anything to spoil.
Worth spoiling? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you what's happened with Andor. He did some things. He met some people, and then he went to a different place where he met some different people, and they're going to do a thing.
That's pretty predictable.
That's it. Now, I'm loving the characters on there, but again, like Cassian's little ragtag rebel crew, first of all, they're all people, which makes sense because they're breaking into an Imperial base. Base, very xenophobic. Like, it'd be weird if they didn't have all humans. Like, I get that. They're not going to have like a Wookiee member or like a Rhodian member or anything like that. Like, that wouldn't work just based on the story. But like, I'm sure at some point we'll get Cassian's rebel little cell group that he's gonna break into. He's gonna go with to break into the Imperial base.
Yeah, I think that's the next episode. Is
100%. That's gonna be
has
the
to
next
be.
episode. Yeah. Or maybe they'll prep some more for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just do I care about owning a figure of a Unabomber guy that made a manifesto? I don't know. Do I care about owning a figure of a doctor chick who I don't know, you know, like
Yeah.
I just they're not toyetic characters. When they do buy them, I'm 100% going to get them.
Yeah. And it's crazy the contrast because Rogue One is very grounded
man.
still, but
Yeah.
the humans, like the whole team other than K2 is human.
Yeah.
But they're toyetic, like Baze and Chirrut, super toyetic. But these guys, could you imagine if they release his whole team? It's just dudes. It's literally just
It's
dudes
just-
and like
yeah,
some,
it's
like
just a
a
bunch
couple
of-
girls that look like you can go to Goodwill and get some things and pop in the show, you know. Like that, the smart kid that builds the stuff in the team, he's wearing the damn, what do you call it, like Canadian type hat, you know, where it like flips up and it's got the white fuzz underneath. It's like red.
The lumberjack hat thing.
Yeah, he's wearing a lumberjack hat. It's like this is Star Wars, man. Why are you wearing the straight lumberjack hat? You know?
Yeah.
They're walking around with the AK-47s, and I get like a lot of Star Wars stuff is based off actual war, but at some point it's a little too similar, with some of the weapons, and like I feel like the AK looks a little too, earthy.
Yeah, but I'm seriously enjoying the show, and I cannot wait.
I really like the show.
Cannot wait for the next episode. Surprise for me, and I posted this both on Twitter and to our little chat group. The character I identify the most with is the Cyril guy who basically got fired from being the corporate security. So he went back home to live with his mom. He's just sad about it, eating cereal, and then he goes and sulks in his room looking at his toy collection.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this is me.
It's so cool that he had like Star Wars statues in there.
He has he has a Star Wars toy collection in Star Wars. It's so meta.
It'd be like, because I guess it's like, what would we have that'd be similar? Like,
like us having there's a
G.I. Joes or something.
Yeah, G.I. Joes
or
just like army guys or whatever. Yeah,
Hot Wheels, cars, like model cars or something.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like Luke having the T-14 Skyhopper model kit.
And then Jen Erso had the Stormtrooper doll.
Yeah, exactly. Like it makes sense for the characters in there to have toys of something from inside their universe.
Yeah.
But you can also have a toy from something inside their universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be weird if Cyril had like World War II,
Yeah.
like Nazi like military people on his shelf or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that would be weird. But
yeah, it'd be strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm liking Andor. I like how it's building because there's 12 episodes, so it's gonna
it needs all 12 to get to where it's going. And I get it if it's not your style of storytelling. Like I get it. It's something we've not really seen in the Star Wars universe before, where they care more about dialogue and slow character building versus like people confuse character building with just actions and stuff. Like it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
The character doesn't have to go through a big long fight to develop their character. They can have same character development having a long conversation with their mom.
And personally, for me, like this is a different type of storytelling because it's like slower pace. We're building. Like, they're throwing all these little. Excuse me, kind of how like Breaking Bad does and Game of Thrones does. They throw stuff in. It's probably going to come back later, even though you might have missed it. Just like some sort of like, dialogue that might come back. I'm going to be honest. I probably would have preferred if the Kenobi series was a little more like the Andor series.
Yeah.
Let's live with Obi-Wan. And people were kind of complaining about episode 1 of Obi-Wan because he was kind of slow. I freaking loved it. I wanted to see, let's just live with Obi-Wan in his daily life a little longer.
What does he do in his day? Yeah.
Like his interactions with just normal people and how he's hiding from the Empire and how what he thinks of the Empire, what he thinks of this life.
Exactly.
Like let's live with him trying to commune with Qui-Gon and Yoda a little bit, but can't do it. But then like right at the end of that episode, they jump into he's leaving, and because if it were 12 episodes or 10 episodes, we could have gotten a little more character development. Yeah. Like we could have gotten a little more character development with the team. Yeah. Because remember like that pilot died and they had that whole scene where everybody was mourning him and we're like, why do we care?
Like, do we care? Yeah, because we didn't get any time with him.
Yeah, we could have hung out with that team a little more if it were 10 episodes or a little slower paced.
Yeah.
And we could have hung out with the Inquisitors a little more and had given time for them to do something,
If Andor were paced more like Obi-Wan, this episode we saw would have been like episode 2.
Yeah.
Like him leaving, like meeting up with Stellan Skarsgård character and leaving would have been
of episode 1.
The first episode. Yeah.
So, and it probably should have been, there was luckily
I'm cool. I care about these characters more now that we've spent more time with them. I'm kind of on board with what you said, and I kind of wish the Obi-Wan show had done the same thing. Give us 12 episodes. Give us more time with Obi-Wan hanging out with these random, like, who's that person that he gave, part of his money or food to or whatever that first time? Was that significant? I don't know, because we didn't know that.
It might come back around. It might come back around,
What about that random Jedi that found Obi-Wan? It was like there for like 5 seconds and then he died. Would we have cared more if they could have stretched that out another episode? You know, the guy that you said, the pilot guy, everyone was sad that poor pilot guy died. I can't remember his name, but you know, would we have cared had he been in 2 or 3 or 4 episodes? You know,
and the Grand Inquisitor was there just to be kind of a boss. You know, but then he kind of quote unquote died and then came back, you know, and like, you know, we could have spent more time with Reva and her backstory, and we could have spent more time with the 5th brother.
Wade. Thank you, Clunkaman. Wade.
Yeah. Good call out. I would have preferred if Kenobi were 10 episodes or instead of the 6 it was.
And well, that's just the problem
more time with Vader and Obi-Wan.
They're trying to tell like a long story over a short amount of time, so the pacing feels really weird. And the same thing with like, but would Book of Boba Fett have been better had it been, you know, a 10 or 12 episode season as opposed to the 6 or whatever episodes we got there? In my opinion,
Book of Boba Fett would have been better if they had a better story for it.
Well, could they have put a better story in there? You know, if they could have stretched it out.
They shouldn't have had Dave and John work on that, because I feel like Dave and John were like, all right, we got 3 hours to come up with a Boba Fett show. Yeah. Let's just find him. And they gave him like a weird, I still don't even understand what his motivation was. You know,
well, they could have delved in to that with 2 or 3 or 4 more episodes or so.
He's like, this is my city, bro. You were born on
since when?
Right. Like, you were born on Camino, dude. Why is this your city? I still had no clue. You know? So they showed him like with the Tuscans, so we know why he cared about the Tuscans, but I don't know why he cared about that city him and Mando were fighting over. You know, so. But we're spending time with these characters. I think it's gonna pay off in a big way.
It's just the other issue. The issue we're having now with Andor, though, is it feels like, relatively speaking, nothing's happening. Even though things are happening, characters are happening, development's happening, like things are happening, but it feels like, relatively speaking, nothing's happening. And we don't super care about buying these figures, but I don't know if that has so much to do with how much time we've spent with them versus just visually speaking, they're not very interesting looking characters.
I think it could be a little bit of both, because if you think about it, like whenever this was revealed, the B2 droid, and I was like, well, I don't need that pack, you know, but then I saw B2 and I love the character, so I was like, oh, I definitely need B2, you know, I need to get that 2-pack, I need B2 EMO on my shelf, you know. So maybe, and Luthen, I really want Luthen on Mothma, but like Bix, you know, hopefully in the second half of the series, if she comes back, like, she comes and kicks ass, and I'm like, okay, I need a Bix on my shelf. I'm ordering the case.
Oh, and that's why I just buy everything right away, because you don't know what's going to come around. You know, you don't know what you're going to change your mind on, and then you wish you bought something when you could have. Yeah.
Yep. So that's my thoughts on Andor, but very good. I'm enjoying it so far.
100%. Yep.
You got any last thoughts about some of the reveals or figures revealed that you want to get off your chest before we sign off here?
I'm just really excited for a lot of these pipelines. And the other problem we're going to have with these pipelines is, you know, in a month or 2 or 3, when we finally get pictures of these figures, it's not going to feel as surprising or special because we already knew they were coming. I don't think anything's going to take away from seeing a brand newly sculpted R2-D2. I think
I agree, like that and the Darth Vader, like hopefully, like, because if they improve that original episode 6 Darth Vader, and like that's gonna be really big.
But something like the Pike or the Tusken Chief would have been a lot more impactful had we not known they were coming. And then suddenly, like, boom, here you go. Here's a picture. It looks great. Yeah. Do you like it? You know, as opposed to, okay, we knew this was coming. Yeah, it looks great. But, like, it kind of takes away the excitement knowing that it's already coming.
Yep, I agree with that. And then, like, another quick thought before we sign off. This could have been a great Pulsecon because there's figures that are pipelined that they should have shown off in hand. Like, could you imagine if they would have shown off the deluxe black chrysanthemum that they pipelined? a while ago, or the new sculpted Mandalorian, and whatever else they pipelined a couple months ago. Like, why didn't we see any of that? We got like barely any, and like some of the figures that we got, saw like actual figures of.
Darth Malik.
The Kotar figures, like, because 3 of the figures that we saw, 4 of the figures that we actually physically saw, we already have in the line. That's the Han, Leia, Lando, and the Scout Trooper. Like,
to an extent, I would even count the Andor because we've already seen it.
100%. Yeah, we've seen that from the 2-pack reveal. So we just needed a more physical figures shown, like some previously pipeline stuff, like the blackseriescantina and the ones you mentioned from Kotar and New Mandalorian would have been cool, but it was still a good Pulsecon in my opinion. Like the pipeline reveals, like you said,
I give it a B.
Yeah,
maybe
I
a
agree.
C plus.
B minus. I think I was gonna say like B minus or so.
B minus, C plus, somewhere on there. Yeah,
they saved it with the Return of the Jedi and then the Book of Boba Fett pipelines.
For sure.
If we didn't get those, it would have been like, oh, that Wicket is sick, but
honestly, if we hadn't had those pipelines, the Wicket would really be the only thing I'd be super excited about. Yeah,
it'd be like, oh, we got Mon Mothma finally, and then Wicket.
Yep.
So,
and honestly, the Luthen looks cool. Like I do
cool.
like the Luthen.
He's cool.
And as much as I love Bix as a character, it's hard to get excited for her as an action figure.
Yeah. You hit
love her character.
Right. Yeah.
Love it. Do I need her on my shelf? I mean, I guess sure.
I mean, you have to, right? Because
I
if you want a complete collection.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I think we're going to sign off now. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
So PulseCon will we'll see you all in 2 weeks whenever we record again. Support us on Patreon. We would really appreciate it. Like we said last episode, we don't do any ads. We don't want to throw ads into the show.
Nope.
So we appreciate our Patreon supporters. And if you want to support the show, since we don't do ads, financially, we'd really appreciate it. You can sign up for just $2 a month or $5 or $11.38, which you can join us live every episode if you do that. You can follow us on Twitter. We'd appreciate that at TBS Cantina. We also have merch. If you maybe want to support the podcast in a different way, you can buy a mug or a shirt. Mike's got the shirt on. Here's a mug.
I do. People listening can't see it, but I'm wearing my Black Series Cantina shirt, and I love it.
Yep. Also, join the Facebook group. We've got a lot of people joining. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a good way to like grow the show. But answer the questions that I have on there. That'd be cool. I've let a couple people in that haven't answered them. So it's just, I figured I've kind of come around on the idea that if somebody wants to join it, but it's a good way for them to like learn about the show, because we post the shows in there. So join the Facebook group. It's Black Series Cantina, and then also you can email us if you want something to say, and I don't reply on Instagram or something, and Mike doesn't reply.
It's true.
blackseriescantina@gmail.com. That's a good way to get in touch with us. We're going to be doing giveaways in December sometime. So around the holiday season, we've got a couple figures to give away. Mike got some today from loyal Patreon member JT Marks. And then we also have another one from JD Stolk, another Patreon member, loyal listener. And then we'll have some more. I think some of the stuff I'll get, I'm going to get something cool for a giveaway hopefully here soon, but we'll see. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next episode.
Bye. There we go.
What a show.
What a show.
What a show.